That's the ultimate test. So we should. I don't know if I should record this. Yeah. Hopefully this doesn't all crash the system. We'll find out. Let me know when you guys see us live. Yeah, but the problem is, did I put in the right... Oh, where is the show number? Does it say 4? No, does it say 490 on the... I know it probably says it on the thing, but does it say it on Twitch? Yeah. Yeah, I can always go back in and change out the others. I will edit that in post. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Oh, sure. No, I did not. Okay. I've heard many things before. Can one of you do a test type in Twitch just to make sure that's working? Yep, alright, that worked. Perfect. Okay. This is just the fun part. Yep. Alright, I'm gonna put our audio live. So everything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law.
Woohoo!
Starting right about now. Which means we probably should be starting the show.
Or if we have to. What?
Yeah, if we have to. We're not going to have any video. It's going to be train wreck, but it's our train wreck to own, right?
And we love it. So
yeah, the best part
is no video. Then
then
I can sit here and not worry about this all day.
Yeah, there's that.
No videos rocking my world. Okay then.
All right, you want me to start the music? Are you ready to go?
I'm as ready as I'm gonna be for an epic failure. Yes.
Perfect. All right, let me start the music. I'll give you the old heave-ho thumbs up. Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly?
I think we're just getting started.
Medic!
I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 490 of the Overseas Connection podcast. I am your host, Nicole Radowski, and with me today, well, we'll just start with ladies first. Fred. No, I'm just kidding.
Fair.
Kim.
That's fair.
No, Kim Woods is with us.
Oh,
How are
yeah.
you today?
I'm hot.
There's comments to be made. I'm not making
I
them.
know. I'm like, this is how we're starting off already. Like, we're having technical difficulties, and Kim is hot.
Right. Melting over here. I'm telling you. You can't
That
see
kind
me.
of hot.
Yeah.
You have to specify on this show, and
Well,
you know this.
you know.
You do. You do
It
have
can
to
go either
specify.
way. I'm up for either, you know. I need a good...
Bare minimum right now, what I'm hoping is, yes, webcam's not working. I at least am hoping the audio is coming through. So hopefully, when we do have somebody listening, they can verify that there's some kind of audio happening.
Can you hear us? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, so if you can hear us, yay, let us know.
Indeed.
All right, and also with us, spinning the decks.
Not
And
effectively.
I was going to say, much to his chagrin, yeah, it's not working, is Greg DeLacy.
Yep. Howdy, all. This is kind of funny, being behind the scenes, not leading the show. But I knew doing Mark's job, it's not easy. It is difficult, and of course, webcams today, because of the new Skype update, I wish to God I hadn't done that, because I think it still would be working properly. But now, I'll need to consult back with my guru, known as Mark Yanix, to figure out if, in fact, how to get Skype working again. Because for everything I was trying, nothing is working. I've got blank screens, which supposedly is the Skype window. So you can see my cursor moving around right now in the window for those on the feed, but you can't see anything else. So I have no clue what's going on with that. Yeah, go figure. Go figure.
Hey.
Don't we love technology?
And
Not
grand.
really. No. Kind of hate it most of the days.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like I had tweeted or messaged y'all via WhatsApp that I was worried that I wasn't going to make it on time because I had to go to the grocery store. My kids had stolen my laptop. I had to go hunt it down. It wasn't plugged in. It had 0 battery, and I know when they leave it for a day or two, I'm going to come back to 500 updates because it's a Windows machine.
Mm-hmm.
It had updated Skype.
Gotta
Oh,
love
God.
that.
On a positive note, Sarah can hear us, so
That is
Yes!
at least a win. Right now, we are giving big thumbs up. There's at least that.
I like your thumbs up. That's your cursor going around in circles on the screen.
Yeah, pretty much. There's my thumbs up, everybody. Yeah.
All right. Well, we can just tell Sarah how much we love and appreciate that she always attends. So.
yep.
Yes, and also is our troubleshooting tech
I
person.
know. She always tells us if our sound works, our
Right.
video's off. Like, we should hire her and pay her as much as we get paid.
Right? Exactly.
Yep.
That
big
could
fat
be
goose
that could be
eggs.
part of the problem. Maybe we need to look at the wages again.
But big fat goose egg is not working anymore. Is that what you're telling us?
I know. What's sad is when you're thinking you're getting overpaid for what you're doing and you're not getting paid anything.
Right?
Yeah, because the quality of work I'm putting out right now really doesn't warrant any money. In fact, I probably need to be giving money back to somebody.
You need to be fired.
Yeah.
You need to be fired. Oh, look, dogs.
Oh,
So
there you
they'll
go.
be barking. They'll be joining the podcast as well.
Okay.
Children in the background, but we don't have video, so we're good there. All right, so down to business. Maybe not.
Dogs be
Misha
down.
Misha had a few things to say. Anyway, this is a gaming podcast. Not that you would have known that from the 5-minute intro. Yep, and as it said, we're just a little bit off from center. We broadcast weekly on Sundays, 9 p.m. in the UK. Who cares about the West Coast?
Hey.
3 p.m. Central.
This
Hey,
hurt-
you got 2 Central gals right here. You got to put up with us.
I know, but you're giving love to the UK and nothing to the West Coast. What's up with that? What
I
is
love
up
the
with
UK.
that?
I love the UK. So,
Bollocks.
I mean, did you just say bollocks?
Yes.
All right, and 4 p.m. on the East Coast. You can follow us and usually see us on twitch.tv/OC Podcast and mixer.com/OC Podcast and youtube.com. If you miss us live, you can find us there on YouTube at Overseas Connection Podcast. So, we don't have any birthdays. So, do we
do.
have, do we?
Yeah, new Twitch follower.
Well, we have a new Twitch follower, but we don't have any birthdays. I'll get to the Twitch follower.
Right.
All right. But I can't even say that. So we do have a new Twitch follower. And I would let Greg read this because he's going to hack it up worse than I would. But I'll be nice.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Zeddy Yatia.
works for me, but
Probably
Zed-
horribly wrong, but
I
yeah.
know Zed. See, and I would say Zed Yata. I don't know. That's a J.
All right.
Well, Zed. So
Zed
welcome,
Yatcha.
Zed.
Zed Jacha, bless you.
And please feel free to tweet us, Twitch, whatever. Send us a message on Twitch. Let us know how to really say your names. We would appreciate it. Otherwise, we're gonna hack and slash them like
Sorry.
a bad video game.
Well, sometimes they're very easy,
I
like
know.
Murphy's Law.
All right, Kim. So tell us.
yes.
She just froze. Did everybody just
Yeah.
freeze, or is it just Nicole?
Whoa, y'all
What happened?
really?
This little slowdown
No,
there.
y'all got like really Skypey.
Well, yeah,
Ooh.
you more or less just froze up on us. So
Yeah.
more fun, more technical fun.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Woohoo!
I don't want to share my screen. Why do I want to share my screen?
Don't
Why
share your
is it
screen.
asking me to share my screen?
Don't share your screen.
All right.
Hey,
We
what
need
am I
a
doing?
jingle. We need a jingle for story time, and then Kim's gonna tell us what's going on in her world.
I can handle, I think, at least that task.
Alrighty.
Maybe.
Mm.
He's a liar.
I might be a liar. What the hell? Could anything else just go completely wrong? Sure.
All right, we don't like dead
We
air.
don't.
So,
We don't like story time apparently.
so
Here we go. Hold on. Hold the fort. You want story time? I'm gonna give you story time.
No, not really.
I don't know. Every time I like think it's gonna play, it doesn't play, and then I sit there and yeah, never mind. Fuck story.
Everyone here loves story time, our favorite time of the day.
We'll still have story time, just no jingle, and I'm good with that. Kim,
Yes.
tell us how it's going in your world.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, it's hot here. I think someone left the blast doors to hell open. It was bad enough last night. I was sweating so bad I thought I had a fever because I had a headache too, but no, I think it was just overly hot. So, yeah, it's hot. And it's supposed to be this way until like Tuesday. So if, something happens and you never hear from me again, I've melted like the Wicked Witch. So, aside from that, I talked to Tony today and his mother, which is my sister, of course, and he had an awesome first week of school. As a matter of fact, he's still in school, so they haven't kicked him out yet, which is, awesome.
Me being an ISS instructor, that's funny to me.
So, yeah, and his teacher, she thinks he's great, and I'm like, well, this is her first week, just wait. So, so yeah, that's it. Tony had a good first week of school. He's wanting to go back because actually Saturday he was sitting there at home, I guess, and they weren't doing much of anything, and he actually looked at his mom and he says, "Can I go back to school?" So I'm like, well,
But that's good. It is good to already like school when you're this little.
Exactly. So yeah, that's it. I'm melting, and Tony had a first good week of school. So
Okay.
Look at Greg, still trying to host.
No. There was nothing there. No attempt at stealing the host duties. Trust me, I have no desire to host right now. I'm trying to figure out where my on-off buttons are. Let's.
I can tell you where your on-off button is, but this is a rated PG-13 show, so we're gonna skip that. Why don't you just tell us what kind of week you've had?
Well, it is back to school, so that's been actually kind of a nice break in that at least we've got that going for us. Colin, he's a handful in the mornings, but it's a little easier to deal with him going to school versus when he's home from school, if that makes any sense. So
it does to me,
yeah, so really welcome the school year coming back and being able to kind of go that route in terms of being able to send him off to school, even if the bus shows up at 7:37 on our time. I'm still very happy about that I'm just like, get them onto the bus. It makes my work easier. Yeah,
Get him out of here.
get them out of here.
What time's the bus supposed to show up?
Between 7:37 and 7:45. It's like a weird like window, but they're pretty good about keeping to those times.
Well, yeah, but for us, I do bus duty in the morning, and I know that for those two particular buses that we have that run the kids, there are always a larger window of time because it takes time to get wheelchairs and strap down or get walkers or anything like that situated, and then you've got to get back to the front of the bus and safely get back on the road. So I completely understand it having a 10-minute window because you don't know what's going to happen the previous stop or the next stop after.
Yeah, parents are supposed to have their kids ready to go at the drop of the hat, when the bus shows up. But I mean, inevitably, I'm pretty sure that doesn't happen. So.
All right, and I'm going to tell you, Mark just called you an amateur.
Mark can fucking suck my dick. Yeah, that's all I have to say to him, Mr. Oh, I'll help you out before I go, and then he just takes off and goes.
He's all LOL, amateurs, love you all. I'm like, no.
If he loved us, he would never have left.
Exactly.
Sarah said so much for PG-13.
Yeah. This show was never, ever PG-13 for the record.
I know. I was trying to, boost it for us, but we just went straight back into that gutter. And so hey, and it's my third week of school already. Oh my gosh, I don't know. It's like all running together for me. So new duties. And I'm getting to know a lot in the front office, and then a lot. I work at a different set office, but it's so I have to learn 2 different sets of office strategies. It's been very interesting. I am now an expert at running around with a radio. I am not comfortable taking a walkie-talkie into the toilet. I have found every single possible niche there is in that school to leave a radio so I can go to the bathroom and not worry about accidentally hitting the on button and communicating what I'm doing. Nobody needs to hear me pee. Yeah, honestly, it's a weird thing to have to carry a radio all around all day long and always be like on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, and the kids are happy to be back for the most part. I think we're finally, all of us, even my kids, are getting into a routine. And that's like what you were saying, having that routine is so helpful. That means eventually I'll be able to get back into a gaming routine again because I haven't played much. I've played one thing this entire time since I've been off, the last 3 weeks?
Right.
Yeah. I know. Crazy, right? Speaking of game time, though, do we have a game time jingle, or are we just gonna wing it?
Well, see, okay. I did just have on this ridiculously dumb back to school video thing that I threw up there randomly, but let's just see. Do we have something for game time? We might. Then again, is it gonna play for me? That's a totally different question to ask. But let's see if it plays for me. I never know when it's gonna play or not. It takes forever to load. It's the funniest thing. And it's like I finally give up on it. I'm like, I'm gonna pause it and I'm gonna say no, I'm not gonna play the jingle.
So it has
No, it's playing right now.
I want to play a game.
You are one pathetic loser.
That jingle, just for the record, ends with "You're one pathetic loser." That is me right now on the soundboard. The soundboard is like being, yeah. If I could punch somebody right now, I would feel better. Mark, just saying. All right. Yeah, we're good to go, Nicole.
All right. So games with benefits. Do we have anything are we playing what's on here? This is I haven't been on in 3 weeks. I have no idea.
We have been attempting to play what's on there. I think probably the most prominent one we can talk about would be For Honor, since I know that is part of Kim's list.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And I have also seen Sarah, who's in our chat, playing Mafia 3 on the PS4. I have yet to even look at it sideways.
Yeah. Well, I've played Mafia 3. I know Sarah has some pretty strong opinions about Mafia 3. I've got For Honor video up right now, so I suppose we could talk about For Honor real quick, since that's part of Kim's thing, and then we can discuss some of Sarah's complaints about Mafia 3.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, For Honor. Yeah. I actually started it up this morning, but I've played it before because I played it, they had a free weekend here a few months ago, and I played a little then. I come kind of like Mark. I started with the trials, and so far, I'm a chick with a big sword, and I like it. So, yeah. I don't know. It is a little difficult because it is a little more technical than, like, say, Dragon Age or something, where you pretty much go in there, you punch buttons, and you kill whatever's in front of you. But since I'm not technical, that's still kind of how I do things. So, I don't know. I haven't done too bad. I think even in the trials, I might have only died twice, but I've done pretty good so far. So I don't know, for a game that I wanted to play before but couldn't justify the money because everybody said it sucked. It seems like it does much better now. I think they've worked on it and made it better. So, For Honor, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, this has kind of been Ubisoft's MO of late. Especially for some online games, they have been launching these games. And not with a ton of content to them. Rainbow Six Siege is another prime example of a game that got launched. It was a little light on the content, and there were some questionable tactics that they were using in terms of microtransactions, and people just really they liked the core gameplay, but the other stuff surrounding it felt like there wasn't enough. It felt a little potentially shady, and so they launched with kind of a bit of a wet thud. But Ubisoft, to their credit, they continue to support these games, and now For Honor, much like Rainbow Six Siege, has really grown in popularity. They're getting high praise from the media about what they've been doing with the game in terms of support and adding to it and balancing it properly. I think this is a nice example. On one hand, on the flip side, it does kind of excuse me, make you realize. I wonder if Ubisoft is starting to feel comfortable in this notion of they can release things a little bit broken and not pay the consequence to it, so to speak.
Yeah. Because essentially you're paying $60 for a game that feels half finished. And I mean, I realize later on down the road they're going to put stuff out, make it better. But you get kind of set back and you wonder, well, why didn't you do that to begin with? And I would have felt better paying $60 for a game then, But maybe that's me.
Yeah, because I'm not going to spend my money ahead of time if I know it's coming out broken. And they're going to do that one time too many, and I won't drop the coin next time.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people will end up following in our footsteps if they get comfortable with that, modus operandi and start doing that as their normal everyday thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't develop a bad game and expect people to continue to play and support you. So they'd be sucking.
Yeah.
So the other game was Mafia 3. Mafia 3, this is a game Mark and I both really enjoyed. Mafia 3. I'm pulling up some video for it right now. I think what Mark and I most enjoyed about Mafia 3 is the story elements, the cutscenes. I know one of the complaints Sarah was having was the difficulty level felt a little bit broken in that, like, she could game the AI pretty well when she would get into firefights. I mean, she took a screenshot. It was pretty hysterical. She was like, I went into this warehouse and she literally just killed one guy after another, there had to have been, I would say, practically 20 bodies just piled up in a corner, and Sarah had just been killing them one after another as they came into the area, and she was killing them. I don't know if she was stacking the bodies up in the corner on purpose, but there was just this pile of bodies, and it looked like just basically, somebody had gone through with a mass killing. So you can game the game that way at times, and I try to remember if there's the difficulty settings on it. They do impact that a little bit. It just makes the enemies more deadly with their aim, but I do think some of the AI is broken a little bit in that you can basically just use whistle to keep bringing them over. It's kind of like trying to think of games like Uncharted, in other stealth games like Sam Fisher games, where you're using whistles or coin tosses. Hitman's another one where you can kind of game it a little bit at times, where the routine of the characters, and so you can go through it that way if you want. It makes for, I think, far less exciting gameplay when you do that, and I know it's kind of tempting to do it because it's easy that way, but and it's funny because there are extremes. And then she was saying when she was being chased by the police in a vehicle, they were like, practically impossible to get rid of and lose them, because they have the same GTA thing where you become a wanted person, you have to escape the area, and so the cops are chasing after you. The cops, are relentless in their pursuit of you. The main ways I found being able to kind of get rid of the cops were either finding some jump points on the map. Every once in a while you'd come across a broken bridge or something that you could jump across, or even just a dock area that would jump down onto another street. If you do that, you can escape pretty easily. The other way is just causing a major accident with a cop car, basically ramming it into another vehicle. The AI tends to pile up behind the crashed vehicles for a moment, and that usually is enough time for you to get away.
Yeah, I asked Sarah in the chat some of her opinions, and she said she was having that it's a time filler, and that the story itself is fine. She's finally got where it gets interesting, but she's tired of the grinding. There's a lot of repetition over and over and over. And the driving. Driving is in all caps. Probably scrolled through chat already, but it is in all caps. And she said she was stacking those bodies as they came in one by one.
Okay. All right.
So... and that she's pretty sure that the difficulty for her is just set on whatever it comes in, which is probably somewhere in the middle.
Right.
She didn't. Right. I'm assuming that means she didn't adjust it any.
Yeah.
I have wanted to play this. I have yet. I mean, I downloaded it. That's as far as I got. But I don't have any room. I have to move so many games off of both systems. And then I don't have the time. It's like... I've been coming home from work, and I'm like just dog tired. Getting up at 5 a.m. kind of sucks. I have to be at school by 7.
Yeah, no, that definitely is a sucky thing. Getting up early never fun. And also with the new job, that's got to be exhausting on top of it. I know anytime you're taking on a new job, it mentally exhausts you, but it feels very physical in kind of the toll it takes on you. So you come home, you're just exhausted. All you want to do is crash out and sleep. And obviously, being single mom, you're not allowed to do that, so that makes it even that much tougher.
No, I told my kids the other night, I'm like, you can tuck yourselves in. I'm going to bed. It's like 8:30. I was out.
I know that feeling.
I was like, I'm out. I cannot. I'm 8:30 at night. Who does that? Oh, wait, me. Yeah, I'm just like, y'all need to go be in bed between 9 and 9:30. And I hate to do that to them, but they're old enough. They're teenagers. They're old enough to do that.
Right.
Self-regulate. But God help me, I hate to do that to them. So I'm like, here's your hugs. Here's your kisses. Good night. Love you both. Do not come in there unless you are on fire.
Mama's tired, so...
Tired.
Me. All right. So please try and join us if you can, playing these. Send us invites, tweet us, text us, whatever. Well, it's not like we're hard to find. And we'll be looking forward to September because these are not big. And nobody's playing the PC, the Twitch version, the SteamWorld Dig.
Not to my knowledge, no. I think Robin's really been the only person that's played that. I think he played it to finish about a year back. I know he liked it, but no, none of us have actually been touching that one so far.
Nope.
Alrighty, and let's see. Kim, you want to do our freebies here? Our finished? We've read them enough. Or are we good? No. Oh, my son made me do Forza Horizon 2. I'm like, we already had it, but he wanted to download it again. Like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I think if anything, maybe just read off the ones that are going to. I mean, we're at the end of the month, so maybe we should just read through them real fast and say, hey.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Use it or lose it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, your freebies for Xbox this month, as it winds down here, is Forza Horizon 2 Standard 10th Anniversary Edition is still available till the 31st. For Honor Standard Edition is available now through the 15th of September. Disney Epic Mickey 2, The Power of 2, is still available till the end of the month, and of course it is backwards compatible. And then for your PlayStation, we have Mafia 3 and Dead by Daylight for the PS4, Bound by Flame and Serious Sam 3 BFE for the PS3. We have Draw Slasher and Space Hulk for the Vita. Scrolling. For your Twitch games for this month, we have Yotan Valhalla Edition, Death Squared, Anti-Hero, Wizardry 6, 7, and 8, and SteamWorld Dig.
Yay!
I gave some people some inside baseball. I let them see our notes.
That's fine. That is, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yes. Who do you want to start with, Nicole? This will help me with pulling up videos.
I'm gonna actually start with you because we've already talked. Well, we can finish with Kim because she's talked about For Honor, and then we'll just do Unravel. Never mind. We'll do her three. I'm not gonna sit here and tell her what dictate to her.
Alrighty. I have played some more Unravel. As a matter of fact, I finished the trial this morning, so I don't know. I haven't decided on that one yet. I mean, I'm gonna play it, but I think I'm gonna wait till it comes out in EA Access before I don't think I'm gonna buy it. As nuts as that sounds, mainly because Red Dead Redemption 2 is right around the corner. I'm gonna be all over that, so
right.
Yarny can wait. And
so before you jump off Yarny.
Yeah. I'm like, please don't jump off. I want to ask questions.
Yeah, there's questions to be asked. So, in terms of the gameplay, I know this is supposed to be kind of more of a co-op experience this go round.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what they've always been highlighting. So my question is it something that you have to play co-op, or are there certain puzzles that are locked to co-op?
So far, no. I've come across it. I've just been playing it by myself, and no, it doesn't need to be co-op. I mean, if you've got somebody there who wants to play, then that's fine. But so far, I haven't run into anything that tells you absolutely have to have another person there to play along with you. I've been able to get through. I think I was on the second part of the story or whatever, and I never run into anything that I had to have somebody else come in and play the other Yarny to help me get through it. You can pretty much do it all by yourself. I think it's just a choice that if you want to play it with someone else, then great. But if you don't, you don't have to. So. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. And then in terms of the actual jump mechanics, that kind of thing, back in the day, I know the first Yarny, people said it felt a little floaty. Does it still feel kind of floaty in the jump mechanics?
At times. I mean, I kind of had some issues with it, but then that could be just the way I play because I'm not very good at these things. I like playing them, but I suck. But I do think they've gotten better with some things. So, like before, you needed so much yarn in order to continue in certain spots. Now you don't have that problem. You can pretty much go and do what you need to without worrying about, oh, I need extra yarn, and where is it at, and yada, yada, yada. So...
That was one of the things that pissed me off on the first one. I'd be like, I can't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or I wouldn't know what my next step is because the clues weren't, not that they weren't overtly obvious, but they weren't even minimally obvious.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I supposed to be doing here?
And I'm assuming, even though this was a trial, I know when I played the trial, they've got a little glow thing you can follow that shows you where you're supposed to go. So that, and I don't remember if they had that in the first one or not. So that kind of helps.
Yes, a little yellow sparkly glow thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
I want to say they had that in the first one.
But this one seems like it does a little more to show you this is what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to get to, yada yada. They still have the puzzles where you kind of have to do the figuring for yourself on how you're going to get there, but it does help you move along to where you're supposed to be. So that was nice.
Yeah, that is nice, because that's one of the first things that was one of the things I found frustrating with the first game, was that I would just sit there twiddling my thumbs going, all right, what was I supposed to do? And then I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to take this rock and roll it onto this thing. Because I had to go YouTube a lot of stuff.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
I have to ask a quick question, and I'm watching the video right now. So there's a person in the background, like the yarn showed up at the school, and you see this image of this girl. Looks like she's running from something. So is there an actual underlying story?
Yeah, I don't know what it is yet because they haven't really explained a lot. But yeah, you get little background images of what these people apparently were going through, or this girl was doing, but you don't really have any idea for sure what. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because it looks like she was running. It looks like she was trying to either run away from, I don't know if it was a group home or what it is.
Right.
It's her and someone else. So I'm sure with the full game you kind of get a better idea of what's going on there. But yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I assume as you go along it will explain itself better. So.
Did it? In the first one they had the pictures
Mm-hmm.
of, and you would see little things of so and so playing or whatever. Is it very similar to that?
Well, like in the first one, they had like you said, the pictures, and so far I haven't come across anything like that in this one yet.
Okay.
Like they still have the little, like Greg said, I don't know if you want to call them ghosts or what, but they have the little images kind of playing along in the background.
Yeah.
As you go
we
along.
can go with ghost images because they're not solid in your face.
No.
Yarny's solid in your face.
Yeah, they're definitely
So it's
ghost
almost
images.
like memories.
Yes.
Yeah, memories. Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. But what those memories are yet, like I said, I've played a couple of different chapters, and I have no idea what they pertain to. But I suppose as you go further along, you will find that out. So, but I think they've done a good job of picking up where the first one was and improving, like I said, improving things that the first one they kind of it wasn't very good, and they fixed it with this one. So, if you liked the first one, then I think you'll definitely get along with this one.
All right. Yeah, because I did like the first one. It was frustrating,
Mm-hmm.
but I did like it.
Yeah, and I think they've taken some of that frustration out this time because, I think it did come back to them that, hey, this was a little tough and yada, yada, yada. So they've fixed that. So, and I think it makes it easier, too, if you want to co-op with somebody, that there's not all that extra stuff that there used to be. So.
You have to get back with us after you've had a chance to co-op with somebody. Maybe when it comes to EA, you and I can try it, and we'll have to see what it's like. Because sometimes in some games, when you co-op, you can't, there's not a lot you can do without the other person being right there practically holding your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see how this co-op is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I know that co-oping in State of Decay actually has a limit to it. I found that out, but we'll discuss that when it's my turn. So keep going.
Alrighty, and last week me and Sarah played some more Overcooked, and I'm surprised the woman hasn't strangled me yet. But so far, I think I've gotten a little better with throwing the food and trying to get a pattern or routine down, so that way we put the food out in a timely manner and yada yada yada. So yeah, it's fun. I can't remember now which world we're on, but we've made through quite a few little spots. So yeah,
I've never played this game, so I'm kind of curious. We're watching a little intro scene here. It looks like there definitely is a story, so it's not just you're a cook in something. There's a story to this.
Yeah, there is. I'm not exactly sure entirely but something happened, and now they have zombie bread.
Zombie
have
bread.
they call them the unbred, and yeah, it's you have
The
to
unbred.
the unbred. Yes, the unbred, and you have to feed them to keep them from eating you. Is basically what I would say this is. But yeah, it's a like Sarah says, it's a very light story. I mean, there's no major thing to it, but that's kind of your motivation for going along on these different levels and cooking the food is because you're trying to keep the unbred from eating you. And every once in a while, the king, which is an onion, I believe, and Kevin the dog will call you back to the throne room and tell you, well, we're sending you off to Swampland so you can learn to make something else in order to keep the unbred at bay. So, yeah, you know,
I'm sorry. Is Kevin like
Kevin the
I don't
dog,
know.
right?
Kevin the
I know,
dog.
Kevin the dog, but Kevin was the bird in Up, not the dog.
Yeah, that was Doug. What was the dog's name in Up? Anyway,
I think it was Doug.
all right.
Doug.
Yeah.
Doug, yeah. So yeah, it's fun, and like I said, once you get into kind of like a routine and kind of figure out, okay, so and so does this, so and so does this, and can make it work. It does go pretty well usually. We haven't, like I said, we have managed not to kill each other yet. So you know, if you want a little fun co-op game, and it's not very expensive. I think it's $25. So, you know, Overcooked
Expensive
too.
is debatable.
Well, true, but you know, compared to some others, you know, 25 isn't bad. So
Now I know
better.
this does online co-op. Does it do couch co-op as well?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. I mean, it seems like a natural game for couch co-op.
Yeah.
So that
yeah.
might be, Nicole, where this would be some fun for you and the family.
No. No, and I'll tell you if you gotta make, like Sarah's over here in the chat saying you got to get orders correct and you'll get points, and then getting orders incorrect takes points away, and you're trying to earn stars.
Right.
I panic. I cannot fill an order once I start to panic. My kids are awesome at this, and me, I'm like, oh my god, which one's the mushrooms? Where's the bacon? Where's this? Oh my god, it makes me insane. I cannot do it.
You know what?
I start to panic, and then I piss off.
I was the same way though, and I think Sarah's really good because she kind of tells
no,
you,
y'all
you know, what you're supposed to do. So, are we there? Are we back yet?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So, but yeah, I was the same way because I was a
Yeah,
little.
y'all are fine now.
Okay, I was a little nervous about this because I'd never played the first one. I just heard it was really, you know, kind of, I don't know, hurried. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, Sarah does a real good job of saying, okay, you need to do this, and then I'll do this, and you know, it works out pretty well. So I think you'd be all right with it. So
You don't know me.
if all else fails, we'll stick you to washing the dirty dishes. You'll be fine. So
I am good at that. That I can do. I can do that all day.
yeah. So yeah, Overcooked 2.
All right.
It's all right.
It's
Okay.
all right.
She gives it a half a thumb up.
A half
Yeah.
a thumb
Half
or
a
a
thumb.
full thumb?
Not even a full. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Greg, your list doesn't surprise me in the least.
I don't know what you're talking about here.
Must be PUBG.
Well,
And
okay, yes. There's PUBG. There's some stuff. Come on.
No. All right.
No, it's the two games you always play plus one extra that I'm sure you're gonna be.
That I've never heard of for sure. So
You
Right?
definitely have never heard of it. This is my gift to you. But so real quickly, I will talk about PUBG, and that really is just it's kind of on the heels of some of the news that came around from Gamescom. But basically, there was a nice sizable update that happened with PUBG. In fact, I'll fast forward the video a little bit to get people to see what is going on there. They've added dynamic weather back into PUBG on the Xbox version, and so this is, you know, keeping it in check in parity with PC, trying to get it there. So now you're going to experience fog, you'll experience rain, and in essence, it's adding another element to PUBG in terms of a game that is very much designed on sightlines and sound. You know, this impacts it. And so it impacts it in a positive way. I think it really adds something to the game, so it's kind of nice. It's not always sunny days in PUBG land. And so, yeah, you know, it's PUBG, baby. It's PUBG for life. I'm just saying. Come on. Can't believe you
No.
guys don't like this game.
No, it's not.
Can't believe
No.
that. At least it's not Fortnite. All right.
I
But
don't
I
have
will.
a problem with Fortnite.
I have all kinds of problems with the Fortnite. I can't stand Fortnite. Can't stand it.
I don't have any problems with Fortnite because I don't play it. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You're a good person.
XCOM 2. What did you do in that?
You know,
Tell your friends.
I won't even talk so much about that. Just more XCOM 2 playtime. Playing through War of the Chosen. It is a fantastic add-on for PUBG. So, you know,
Thank you.
at the end of the day, I just said PUBG for XCOM 2. War of the Chosen was a great add-on. Sorry,
Talk about an addict.
I know.
Right?
I'm watching this stupid ad. I hate YouTube. But yeah. So the game I played, which we'll transition now to, it's called Phantom Deception, and I picked this up. So this is just like XCOM 2.
Ah.
It is a
Surprise.
turn-based game. It is, you know, they took the XCOM 2 control schemes, and for the most part they've used them. However, they made some curious choices. So panning the camera like in XCOM 2, you would use your D-pads. In this game, you use your thumbstick, the right thumbstick, to pan around. I think it's probably because I've played so much XCOM 2 that I don't necessarily get on with this control scheme as well as I do with XCOM 2. But
Can you change it?
I don't think so. I haven't really looked to try and change it because putting the things on the thumb pad versus the right thumbstick seemed like a fairly drastic control scheme change. And there are other little subtle things that they have in there, and in terms of like using the right trigger to pull things up. And my fear is that if I change everything up, it won't change the on-screen prompts as I'm learning the game, and so therefore,
Yes.
yeah, it's going to mess with me too much. So
I've left games for that very reason. Like
Yeah.
left the controls the way they are because I'm like, well, you know, as soon as I change it, it's gonna screw up something because it says you have to press X, and I'm not really pressing X.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get you.
The big thing about this game, though, this is a game built around spies. So there are three different spy factions you can play through. They each have their own story and path. There's the CIA, there's the KGB, and then there is one other one. I think it might be MI6. I could be wrong on that. But you start off, you have a team of spies. And so your job, one of the very first missions is you're infiltrating a nuclear weapons facility or a weapons facility looking for evidence of a nuclear weapons plan, a program at this base. And so you enter in the base with a team of 3. And unlike XCOM 2, where you are basically getting into a lot of firefights continuously, here you're using a lot of spy techniques to avoid being seen, to avoid being detected. So, you might knock somebody out, but you have to sneak up on them. You can't just get into a firefight. If you get into firefights in this game, it often is going to result in permadeath, but it's very difficult to win firefights in this game. And that's because one of the interesting things that they decided was when you are seen by an enemy or you see another enemy, your shots do not miss. So XCOM 2 is notorious for, or any XCOM game really is notorious for the chance roll, where even if the shot you're about to take says you have a 99.5% chance of hitting, every once in a while that 0.5% crops up and you miss the shot. And it's infuriating, but it's also just part of the charm of XCOM. In this game, you don't have to deal with that. All of your shots will hit. However, if somebody's behind cover, if they have armor on, or they're maybe obscured by something, the amount of damage they take will be less. And so, depending upon the weapon type, depending upon their armor, if they're in full cover and partial cover, that will change how much damage is taken. So, going back to the key in Phantom Doctrine is to get around undetected, not get into those firefights, take soldiers out or enemies out when you can, but it's not, just full on assault.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I was like, you picked the perfect time to stop because I had to cough.
That's what I do. Apparently, I load audio up poorly and I cue you up. If I was a waiter right now, you would have just taken a big bite of your burger, and I would walk up and ask you, "How was that burger?"
Exactly.
Yes.
And that would be my luck.
Yeah.
So, do you recommend this one? Don't recommend it?
I mean, as a fan of the genre, I'm liking it so far. It's hard for me to recommend it because I'm still very early on. I took a flyer on this one. It's gotten decent reviews so far, but everybody to a person that's been reviewing it has, basically said if you're looking for something with a bunch of combat in it, that is not going to be what you're going to get. This is about sneaking around and executing those missions, but also about connecting the dots. And so when you complete a mission, there's kind of like a mission briefing board area where you're kind of like traditional spy or the private investigator movies where they have that board up on the wall where they've got the strings attaching things to this and that, saying these are all connected. You end up doing a lot of that. And so you're trying to, there's a mystery to be unraveled within the game. I haven't even gotten that far within it. I mean, I literally have been just going through the intro stuff, so it's fresh off the press for me. So I don't have a full impression of the game, other than so far I like what I've been playing. It is different in terms of trying to evade people, as opposed to just when I see somebody, my gut instinct is I want to just kill them. Yeah. But oftentimes it's best to hold off and find a way to neutralize that person, either by killing them, silently from a different direction, or even neutralizing them by maybe taking out security cameras so they won't be able to see you going into a building, something to that effect.
So basically, Kim and I cannot play this because we are about as stealthy as a box of rocks rolling down a hill.
Yep.
Possibly. Yeah, this very well might just be this is a Greg only game. I don't even know if Mark is going to like it. I know Robin certainly won't like it because Robin doesn't like to think. Oh yeah, I said that.
Did you see my jaw drop? Like, that was full on jaw drop. I'm like, he just said that like out loud.
I'm just taking shots. He's off having fun, doing his Italy trip.
Know.
Yeah. And
sending lots of pictures of them having fun and making us all feel like sloths because,
exactly.
Kim and I are texting back and forth. I'm like, well, all we've done is had coffee and get out of our PJs. Woohoo!
Yeah. Yep.
And he's like, we did this and we did that, we did that, and we did that. I'm like, oh my God, stop. Yeah, no. So my big gaming thing was State of Decay 2. That's it. That is all I played. But I played with Roberto. Hadn't played with him in a while, and he just got an Xbox. So he's like, what can we play? He's like, and I've got the Game Pass. I'm like, let's do State of Decay. So we co-opted on his world. And like I said, I found out that there actually is a limit when you co-op. Because usually when you co-op in that game, y'all are pretty well staying together because you got to kill zombies.
Right.
Makes sense. Mm-hmm. Well, I had a full truckload of stuff, and he had a full... his vehicle wasn't quite full because we had just found that vehicle and gassed it up and repaired it. So I was going to take stuff back, and he's like, he was following, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to stop right here and check this real quick. And I kept going. And it's like, you need to get back with the host and blah, 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 or, you're going to mess. It would not let me go any further. I'm like, well, alrighty then. So I had to wait on him, and I'm over here going, dude, have you killed it yet? Can we go now? Can we go now? It's like, the stupid thing is I could see the house.
Right.
Like, it was maybe 15 feet away from my vehicle. I could see the house. But no, the game would not let me go any further than what I had done.
Touching distance.
So I was pissed. But we have decided that most everybody that has survived the apocalypse, in this instance, is a whiner.
Yeah, there
and
definitely are a lot of whiny community members.
yes. And he's so funny. I was like, oh, he's like, hey, what happened to so-and-so? And I was like, oh, he got pissed off and left. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, if you don't do what they tell you to, they get mad and they leave. And he was like, well, he was a whiner anyway.
Yeah. Screw that
Good
guy.
riddance. That's
Didn't want him anyway.
Yeah, so, because I was just trying to explain the basics to him. We actually had a lot of fun. We were supposed to play Rainbow Six Siege this morning, but he's off, what I gathered from Instagram, he's off hiking again, so we didn't get a chance to play this morning. And he does some really beautiful pictures of the Welsh countryside, just in case y'all need to know that. So give him a follow on Instagram. But that's it. That is all I have played, other than, my normal stuff. I can't even, Kim and I play the township game.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been so bad that I've lost 3 or 4 planes in a row because I can't play at work.
Yep.
Things are just, I'm epically failing at a lot of games lately.
I've been that way.
But it's just, life is happening and it needs to be my priority and not the games right now. So we'll get back into it. We'll get a rhythm. School's going. So, all right. So that's what we've played. Anybody got anything else they want to add? Any questions?
No.
Raise your hands. Anybody got to go potty?
Right?
No potty yet.
Oh my God. I know. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. I got to go back and tell y'all this. I know it's not story time and it's almost quiz time.
Right.
So we're going to have to do quizzes, but I got to tell y'all this story. So kindergartners are disgusting. I just need y'all to know that, because anybody that has a 5-year-old that is going to school for the first time, please remind them to not crawl around on the bathroom floor.
Oh, yeah.
And not play in the toilets. That was my Friday.
Don't think Tony will play.
I busted 3 boys in the boys' room and 1 boy in the girls' room. Playing in the toilets and crawling on the floor and looking at their friends underneath the door. So this is just like a public service announcement to anyone with children around that age to please remind them those toilets, no matter how much they clean them, are disgusting. Those floors are equally gross because every one of your little friends has probably missed. So please, don't get on the floor. All right, do we have a quiz jingle?
And will it work?
Okay, look. Why do we need to be so negative about the quiz jingle stuff?
And there was no news. Well, I didn't get that.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Really nothing. I'm talking to myself. Really, that's how this is going.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty. I mean, this entire podcast, that is how it is going. I mean, that's. Let's face it. It is gone less than ideally. That's the best way to put it. I do have a quiz image. I'm now going to attempt to get the quiz jingle going for you. I think this is the same one, though, that's going to say, thank you, Jason Johnson. So I'll try and edit in real quickly just with my own beautiful voiceover of, yeah. It might not work, though. You never know.
It's time for the quiz. Yeah, you know what? Oh, too bad.
Trivia questions in from Jason Johnson.
Thank you,
very
Nicole
much.
Radowski.
Love it.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So there was music.
Something.
I'm assuming. There was something.
I was technically.
There was noise.
Yeah, it was the one that has Fraser thanking Jason Johnson, but he was a little fast to thank Jason Johnson. I didn't realize it came so early. I thought it was at the very end, so I was like, oops. But thank you, Nicole.
You're so welcome.
I threw it in there.
So, that's right. So I threw this quiz together last minute because I was shopping. I apologize. So, don't But we are going to play Who Said It Best. Now remember, these quotes can come from video games and any other video game related sources. Hero and Failboat. I love that.
I had to change out. Normally I go by Hero and Legend, famously from another podcast where I was crowned Hero and Legend. But sadly, due to today's situation, Failboat seems much more appropriate.
Yes. So I do have to say that Kim and Mark are neck and neck. The fact that I was going to say stupid ass. The fact that Mark, I love you, Mark, went on a vacation with the wife means that Kim can surpass him.
I know. This is exciting.
Let's hope.
So it is very exciting. So, without further ado, Aunt Tim and our other contestant, Hero and Failboat Greg.
Yes. I'm ready.
Here we go.
All right. Bring it on.
All right.
Bring it.
Well, tell me, who said it best?
Uh-oh.
'Twould seem we are not the only ones demons enjoy tormenting. 'Twould seem we are not the only ones demons enjoy tormenting. Who said it best? A. Aerith Gainsborough, B. Yennefer, or C. Morrigan? A. Aerith, B. Yennefer, or C. Morrigan? Your answers in 3, 2, 1. Pick a letter, people. It's not that hard. Alrighty. So, Aunt Tim has picked C, Morrigan. Failboat, we're just going to go with Failboat.
I like that. I can live with it.
B, Yennefer. And let me tell you, the name is appropriate because Aunt Tim was correct. It is Morrigan.
I knew I'd heard that, so I just couldn't place it. I was like, I think it's a brunette, and then it was like, well, it could be Morrigan, it could be Yennefer, and since I had played Witcher 3 more recently, I was thinking Yennefer. Oh well.
I was trying to help you guys out.
No, it's okay. I like it.
All right. So.
By the way, Mark, Kim's in the lead.
That's right. I'm just gonna. Yep. Kim's got. Let me make my little note on my paper. Kim. Check. Failboat.
Hey. Starting to take offense to this.
All right. So, after losing a signal from HQ, the quote is, "I'm lonely already." This is from Halo Reach. So, who said it best? George, Emil, or Carter? I'm lonely already. George, Emil, or Carter? This one's pretty much a guess, because I'm sure y'all didn't pay that much attention in Halo Reach. I don't even think Kim played it.
No, I just played the multiplayer, so yeah.
Yep, not campaign.
No.
All right.
It's George, Emil, or Carter, right?
Yes, A. George, B. Emil, or C. Carter. All right, answers, guesstimates in 3, 2, 1.
It's either A or B. That I can almost assuredly say with confidence.
Okay, why do you say that? Tell us why.
Well, as I recall, Carter is she was one of the female operatives, and she was pretty like not real sarcastic. As I recall, I don't recall her having real like a lot of sarcasm lines to her, and so George is the big brooding guy, and so I could see him quipping something like that, and then I couldn't remember Emil, but I think he might have been the sniper. And if that was the case, I think he did pop off once in a while with little sarcasm quips. So.
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. So, Aunt Tim has A, which would be George, and Failboat has B, which would be Emil, but he's gone from Fellboat to Hero again because
Woohoo!
he is the correct
Nice.
answer.
Look at that. Mm-hmm.
All right. This is the one I said y'all are going to hate.
Oh dear.
But I do love you guys so much.
Not sure I'm feeling it.
Hey, you know what? I'm already ahead of Mark. My day is made. So
True. Nice. Nice.
That is true.
And I just tied Robin. I mean, if I can pull one more in, I am ahead of Robin now. This is
Oh,
big
that
for
would
me.
be awesome.
right?
Yes.
All right, then. So, quote number 3. Tell me who said it best. And the quote is, "Holy shit." I know, a real good quote, right? Holy shit.
Is one of
So
the
who
options
said it best?
hero and legend when he was
I was
setting up the
gonna say.
podcast?
Pretty sure I said that this morning. Am I
Yep.
on there?
Oh, I say it all the time. But is it A, JD, B, Kate, C, Dell, or D, all 3 of them? A is JD, B is Kate, C is Dell, and D is all 3 of them. Your answers in 3, 2, 1.
It seems too obvious.
Well,
It felt too obvious, but then I was like, maybe not.
but I have done that to you guys before where I've
Yeah.
given you that, it could be that obvious answer and it's not.
Mhm.
But, yeah, it's just like I said, I throw this together at the last minute. There is a scene in Gears of War 4 where there's a swarm coming and it's like JD says it and then Kate says it and Dell says it and Marcus is like, we've established this already. So basically they've all decided that yes, holy shit, we're going to die because there's a swarm coming. But it's funny. The whole scene is actually really funny. Y'all get a lot of Gear stuff and I'm sorry.
That's
It's
okay.
okay.
I'm not complaining.
I like it.
Yeah. Not
So.
complaining right now.
I know. So that gives us both. Yeah, look at y'all got an extra point. Look at
Yeah.
that. I'm so excited. So Kim's got 2 more points than Mark, bringing her to a resounding 10. Greg, get off my numbers.
I'm not on your number. I was just merely perusing.
Okay, now you're 5. Oh, you're a 5-year-old.
I am a 5-year-old. I've been told that many times.
So Kim, you just put first place. Beyond.
Yep. You can suck it. Nope.
Still wanking.
We're just making some slight notes edits for those the podcast team to come back to. Yeah.
Yes. Which we should probably share those one day because they are hilarious.
Agreed.
Yep. Indeed.
All right. Thank you guys for playing. Really appreciate it.
No,
Okay,
thank you.
now-
Thank you, Nicole.
You are so welcome. I really enjoy making these, and I try and make them not too hard. And it's games that we do play a lot of. I will tell you, XCOM doesn't have a lot of conversation.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's a challenging game in that it definitely does not have a lot of conversation to it. I mean,
because
yeah.
I've tried to look for stuff I try and look for stuff that will, that you guys do play so that you'll be like, oh, I've heard that before. But when you play the same 2 games over and over again, Greg.
Yeah, well, hey, I have been introducing new games. Come on.
Yeah, okay. A stealthy version of the second game you play the most of.
Okay.
Probably has equally very little.
I'm doing better at playing
conversation.
more games than you are there, Tank Top. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And I was one that put like 300 hours in Dragon Age Inquisition. So,
Yeah. But, this is just making up for those times, right?
Mhm.
So who posted the news for us?
I had posted the news.
Then I'm going to let you read the news.
Why, thank you for that.
If you can find the news jingle, if you can't and get it to work, I will gladly say it.
No, you can go ahead and say it. I'm just trying to pull up some images right now to be able to.
Oh, that's right.
To show. All right. We'll dispatch the news jingle because it's the fucking news.
That's right.
Yeah. So NVIDIA, as I show my notes to the world, they announced a new GeForce series of cards at Gamescom. The big hoopla about this was ray tracing. Ray tracing. For those of you that don't know what ray tracing is, I don't know that I'm going to be the best person to tell you what ray tracing is, other than it's a different way to do lighting sources. And basically, instead of pre-baking lighting sources into a game engine, ray tracing allows them to happen real-time, dynamically. That's kind of the limitation on my knowledge of ray tracing. So there you go. What the most important thing to know is that ray tracing is going to be the next big deal in graphics cards, and it's going to come with a bit of a price tag. The new GeForce NVIDIA graphics cards, those were priced out, or they announced the prices. I think the lowest end card was $599, and it went up to $1,500 for the high end card.
Dollars?
Yes,
wow.
Dollars.
Yes.
So that is that was the big kind of announcement buzz thing from Gamescom in terms of PC hardware, and Gamescom's traditionally a big PC big PC show, so it made sense to have the announcement there. I will tell you right now that I tried watching that press conference. I was bored. Oh my god, I was bored to tears. It was just horrible. It was a boring, technical, intro to the new graphics cards. As far as a press event goes, I thought this was something that should have been at GDC, because they get into a lot of the technical nitty gritty, kind of almost like developer level stuff, and it just felt out of place at a gaming convention. But then again, being the massive amounts of PC fans that were there, I think that part of that was well received. I think a lot of people started to cry a little bit when they heard the price, and then amazingly, even though everybody to a person was like, "Holy crap, that's expensive," you saw that people just start justifying the price, being like, "Well, but it's the newness, right? It's the new hotness, ray tracing. It's going to make the world different." So, there was that.
It's just going to make PC gaming more expensive and give me a console any day.
Yeah, it pretty much did that.
Because there is no way I will ever now go to console gaming because I can't afford to keep up.
I think you mean PC gaming.
That's what I meant. Sorry,
yes.
PC gaming. Yeah.
That's all right. No.
So I'm reading as I'm reading. Sorry, as I'm doing this, and
yeah. So there wasn't a lot that got announced at Gamescom. I know. I think they gave a release date, and I think it was actually like right then and there for Diablo 3 on the Switch. So that was kind of exciting. PUBG on Xbox One got its official release date. That's happening September 4th. They're going to be adding some more stuff into the game come September 4th, like new custom matching. Custom matching game modes. They're going to add in battle mode, which is kind of almost like deathmatch. Another couple little tidbits from Gamescom. One, they announced there's a new Xbox Game Pass app for your mobile device, so you can manage Xbox Game Pass from your mobile phone. I thought this was a bit odd, to be honest, because they have the Xbox mobile app that you can go in and basically, manage your Xbox, account. So you can go into the store, you can buy games, whatever. but this is a separate app for Game Pass. And I kept thinking to myself, why not just have it, part of the other app? Why not make it all one app? So I don't know. I don't know why they did that. I would think there's a reason for that. And that could be plans down the road. Maybe that, they're thinking they're going to roll Game Pass out to other devices or other ecosystems that will allow, a Game Pass subscriber to go in and maybe stream games to whatever device they're on. And so they felt the need to kind of pull Xbox Game Pass kind of separate from your Xbox Live account. I don't know. I really have no answer to why this thing exists other than it does.
But it doesn't yet, right? It's coming out?
Yeah, the Game Pass app, I think, is coming out. I don't know if it's quite
I think it's a beta.
Yeah. And then the last one, and this is actually not confirmed from everything I've been reading, so it hasn't officially been announced yet, but that is Xbox All Access. And this was uncovered, I forget which site uncovered it, but more or less back in the 360 days, the Xbox 360 days, Microsoft introduced a subscription plan where you could buy a brand new Xbox 360 and pay like $20 a month for it for 24 months. It was basically the mobile phone kind of subscription. But it didn't include anything else. It was just the console. However, we've uncovered, and I say we as in the gaming media has uncovered a new subscription service called Xbox All Access. And this, from everything that has been uncovered and more or less confirmed at this point, is a Microsoft bundle for an Xbox One X console, along with Xbox Live and Xbox Game Pass, all included in the bundle. That you basically will pay $35 a month for 24 months, and you will basically buy to own the Xbox One X, and then during that time you also get Xbox Live, Gold, and Xbox Game Pass. So all of those services get tied into it.
$840 for 24 months.
Sounds about right.
Okay, and it's... Now, I'm going to do the math on this because this is going to make me crazy. I don't see if it's worth it. And you pay the $9.99 a month for the Game Pass, right? So we'll just say it's $200
a month. One was $240 for 2 years.
$240 right there for Game Pass, which brings us down to $600. And then you're also getting
Xbox Live Gold for 2 years, which I want to say is about
$59.99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's $120 there.
So that's $360 plus the $800 console. So you're not really saving a ton of money, but what they are letting you do is not basically bear that upfront cost. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the long run, it's kind of like what did they used to have at Kmart's and Walmart's? Layaway.
Yeah.
You're basically laying it away, but you could have it at home and actually use it.
Mm-hmm.
So for someone like me, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, if they come out with this, I'll be all over it.
Yep. Yep. I'm agreeing. Because it seems like it's a pretty fair deal. It's not like you're gonna get any special discounts, but you're also not going. This would be smart. Because I could afford $35 a month for 24 months instead of having to slap down $500 for an Xbox One.
And then maybe paying for it for the rest,
Yes. So I like this. I think this is actually pretty smart. So if the rumors are true, Kim and I are on board.
Damn right.
Get the Kim and Nicole seal of approval.
Kim and Nicole seal of approval. All right. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, I think that you have to be committed to that ecosystem or be willing to be committed to that ecosystem in order for it to make sense. But as long as you are, someone who is saying, for 2 years, I'm good with getting Xbox Live Gold and Game Pass, it makes total sense. But I would... Go ahead.
Is this what y'all were talking about, the stacking, if it's going to affect the stacking?
Yeah. So that was the big kind of question we were having was, how was this going to impact those that have prepaid? So, Kim was talking about, sorry, Kim, I'm stealing your own words, but you were talking about you wanted to potentially upgrade to an Xbox One X. This would be an easy path to do that, but you have already kind of pre-bought some Xbox Live Gold, and I think you're up for through like 2019. So if you do that, and then you buy into Xbox, all access, does that stack? Does that stack your subscriptions? How does that work? That's a really good question to ask. Is this only going to be available to somebody who's never been part of the Xbox ecosystem? That seems a little foolhardy since they're giving kind of this upgrade path into Xbox One X. I would hope that maybe it would just, because you are in a sense kind of prepaying out, so each month that you're charged, it would kind of do what it does with how it handles Xbox Live currently, which is it just pushes it out a month. So if you bought, say you are subscribed to Xbox Live Gold, and it expires in 2019, January 1st, 2019, you buy a month of Xbox Live Gold right now, you put the code in, what ends up happening on your subscription is it pushes it out to February 1st, 2019. So I have to think, or I would like to think, that this would work similarly. So each month you're going to get charged $35. That's going to give you a month of Game Pass, a month of Xbox Live Gold, and another month of nobody calling to break your kneecaps because you haven't paid for your Xbox One X. And it would just I think every month it's just going to push the subscription out by a month. That would be my guess.
Let's hope, okay? Because I'm stacked because we keep finding all these sales and we're like, there's a sale on, stacked away. But Sarah says, or is asking in the chat, what happens if a service turns to crap? Are you stuck paying the monthly fee?
I would think yes. If for this particular thing you are going to be bound in, just like a mobile phone, you sign up to Sprint to buy. No, actually, don't sign up to Sprint. Sprint sucks.
Please don't.
But let's say you sign up to, I don't know, T-Mobile, AT&T, who would take your pick. But you sign up to a mobile carrier for a 2-year contract on your phone. Even if after a year you decide you don't want that phone or the phone is crap and you're going to get rid of it, you're still bound to pay the rest of that phone out. There is a cost that they kind of will back charge to you, or just continue to monthly bill you. So I would think this is going to work the exact same way. You sign up to say you are buying into this for 2 years. For 2 years, you're going to pay $35 a month, regardless of whether you like the service or not. You're signing into it. At the end of that 2 years, it becomes ad hoc renewal. So you're not going to be auto renew. Although, let's face it, they're probably setting you up for auto renew at the end of the 2 years anyway. But you would be able to manage that at that point. But up until then, you're going to be bound to paying that $35 every month.
Interesting. I really hope something does come to fruition that is beneficial to everybody and allows the stacking. That's what I'm hoping. That would be the best of all the worlds because, I mean, as gamers, you don't want to piss us off.
Right. And, and let's not forget, this is not going to stop them from offering up 5,000 bundles, which they did offer up a ton of bundles at Gamescom. It didn't think it was really newsworthy, but they are, embracing the bundles. And I think, Black Friday deals are still going to be happening regardless of this subscription thing. They're still going to do those kinds of big pushes. So there's other ways for you to go about this. But this is, I think, for somebody out there that's saying I can't afford to pay $500 up front, but I certainly could afford $35 a month. That wouldn't be a strain to me. This is a good alternative.
Yep.
Alrighty then.
And that was pretty much the news. I mean, there really wasn't a whole. I mean, I'm sure people are like, no, there was all kinds of stuff announced, Greg. But my answer to that is, I didn't really see anything, so I don't care.
It's not that. We just pick and choose things that are important for all of our audience. There is probably something out there that may be more important to one person than another, but this is the stuff that's generally important across the board. And that's how we pick it.
Yes.
I'm going to go with that. Let's go with that.
Yeah. For the record, I don't know. I think these Facebook things are from last week. I could be totally
they
wrong.
are.
They are.
They are. Yeah, I'm ignoring them.
Well, let's
So,
kill them.
yeah, feel free. Community questions and feedbacks. We need some speak pipes, so feel free to give us a ring.
Yeah.
Email us, Facebook, Twitter, Discord is not a thing. I don't care what Mark says.
Messenger pigeon, you know what?
Yes. Throw a rock with a string and a note on it. We don't care. Just don't hit my window.
No, please don't.
Yeah. But, message us, send us information. You can get a hold of me. If you do WhatsApp, we have a little group WhatsApp chat we can add you to, because that seems to be what most of us are on, that for our community. But there's only 8 people on it right now. We can add a few more. Just send us a message. Not too hard. No.
Oh my God, I have so many freaking WhatsApp communities. I've started to pull myself away from a few because it's crazy.
This is why I have you guys.
Right.
And that's pretty much. I'll talk to 8 people individually. That's different.
Yeah.
That's just like getting text. But it's I think the only group ones I'm in are our show notes, our just general chat, and our podcast gaming community thing. That's it. I've pulled out everything else because it became too much. And I'm just and all of y'all are muted. All the big group chats are muted.
You
and I just have to go back and check every now and again. Otherwise, my phone, y'all kill my battery.
Well, it's not even that. It's in the freaking middle of the night if you don't have your Do Not Disturb set on or the chat's muted, which has happened occasionally. Suddenly at 2:00 in the morning, Richard Webster is giving us his latest, Donald Trump info, or Robin's deciding to take pictures of his manly old man chest. And, things I don't need to see at 2:00 in the morning. I'm just saying.
No.
That's true. That is so true. Yeah, no. I have phone is automatically set on Do Not Disturb, and those groups are muted, and I will get to them when I get to them. Yes. But you guys know. But anyway, so please reach out to us, people. We're only a message away.
Yeah, I think Sarah is long overdue for sending us a voicemail. Just saying. Calling you out.
Because she's I game with y'all anyway. That's good enough. I can just hear her. I can totally hear.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, she's smart too. She leaves her phone out of the bedroom. Mine is my alarm clock because I had 2 alarm clocks. One's in one kid's room and the other's in the other kid's room. So now my phone is my alarm clock. And sometimes we get weird phone calls from the school at dark 30 in the morning, there's a weather issue and or all hands on deck for whatever.
Right.
So I cannot exactly not sleep with my phone. That sounds bad. All right, new releases. Kimmy, you want to do your worst?
Sure. Here are new releases for August 25th through August 31st, and they are. We have Firewall 0 Hour for the PSVR on the 28th, Little Dragons Cafe for the PS4 and Switch on the 28th, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate for the Switch also on the 28th, Pro Evolution Soccer 2019 on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC on the 28th, Yakuza Kiwami 2 for the PS4 August 28th, Strange Brigade for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC on the 28th as well. Blade Strangers for the PS4, Switch, and PC also on the 28th. Scroll down here a little. Donut County, which sounds hilarious, but it's a Katamari game for the PS4, PC, and iOS on the 28th. The Blob 2 Remastered. I'm assuming that's supposed to be remastered, but whatever. For the Switch on the 28th. Fire Pro Wrestling World for the PS4 and PC on the 28th. Freedom Planet on the Switch August 30th. The Messenger on Switch and PC also on the 30th. And I think, oh wait, we have more.
There's more.
2 Point Hospital for the PC on the 30th. Divinity Original Sin 2 for the PS4 and Xbox One on the 31st. There's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Naruto to Baruto Shinobi Striker for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC on the 31st. And those are your new releases.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, I don't
Oh
think
my
I
God.
could.
Yeah.
That is
Somebody
insane.
could, but I couldn't.
No. And
Not I.
thank you very much. Play dates. We don't have any. So if you want to play, no, seriously, we don't have any.
No, we
But
don't.
if you want to play, just shoot us a message. That's
Yeah.
what Rob did. He said, "Hey, Nicole, it's been a while. I got an Xbox. Let's play." So what did we do? We played. It's that simple.
Yep.
We're not that hard to find. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook. I mean, send us a message. Feel free to jump in if you see us. We usually leave the party chat open, and if it's not open, it's because my kids are around and I don't want them jumping in the chat. So please just send us a message. It's easy.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want me to handle this next part, Nicole?
You sure may. Oh my God.
Well, the funny
Who
part
do I
is,
have to thank for that little note at the bottom? Because I'm
yeah.
gonna kill somebody.
yeah, no. So here's the thing. So we have an ongoing contest called Victories Achieved, which basically is if you complete a game and you want to win some free money, you should enter this contest. So you beat a game. Let's say Sarah. Let's say Sarah on this coming Tuesday night, she beats Mafia 3. Not likely because there's a lot of stupid side missions, but maybe just for the sake of argument, she beat Mafia 3 on Tuesday, and she wants to get in the contest. She takes a selfie of the game in the background with some kind of image of her, whether it be her face or sometimes people like to do some of those the funny little Photoshop type images of their face. But send that off to us via Twitter at OC_podcast. In that, we want Sarah to include hashtag victory achieved, and then just tweet it. And then you'll get a lovely reply back from our resident nutjob, Bongo the Sane, and he will say, "Congratulations on your victory achieved." And you will easily be at that point be entered into, and I say easily because you don't have to do anything. You're entered into a contest where you may possibly be randomly chosen between today and September 30th. That's when the contest ends. And you could win $20 or £15 on either PSN, Xbox Live, or Steam. We don't do Nintendo because Nintendo don't do friends. I don't know. But it really is that simple. We literally give away free money. So partake. Complete those games. Tweet us out. Send us victories achieved. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Mark said he was going to update the victories achieves list, and he has not done so, or he's indicating that nobody has completed a game.
Yeah, I don't think there was any.
I thought I saw like Denok TQ earlier in the week had completed a game, so I'm now questioning whether Mark was really doing his job or he's just fluffing about.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, Mark is a fluffer. That was a side job. We weren't supposed to talk about that, Nicole.
Sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, so yes, if you do complete that game and you do get a victory achieved, we want you to celebrate that. Normally, I would play a jingle for you right about now that would talk about victories achieved. But instead, I'm just going to do it live just so you know this is what you would hear if you proximity, because this may not be exactly what you would hear, but you would hear victories achieved, you have won a victories achieved.
Very well done.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's that simple. So get to beating games and partake, win some money.
Wow, you did well.
I'm impressed.
I know.
Hey, we do have another. We have another contest, Gary's contest. Should we talk about that now?
Yes. Yes.
Before we close things out?
Yes. Because did we pick a winner for that?
We do have the winner.
Yay.
I will just do a little bit of a underscore. Putting some context to this. Gary DeFelice, friend, foe, new podcast team member. He has.
It's your frenemy.
He is a frenemy. Absolutely. Anyway, he has a code for PUBG on Xbox One that he graciously wanted to give away. And so we had asked originally people to randomly, not randomly, but just send us a note. I think Gary was asking that note to be sent to him specifically about how great it is that he is on the podcast now. It took a little while for those notes to come through. So we also reached out to individuals and asked them to let us know how poorly he makes the podcast now that he's on. And amazingly, once we put that out there were some responses. So I don't want to read them. I don't want to read them because that will make me sound biased. So I think either Kim or Nicole, one of you two, should read these entries. And then the underlined entry is the one that actually won, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll read them because I've made Kim read everything else. Kind of feeling a little guilty.
It's all right.
Well, I'm losing my voice, so I'm trying not to. Of course, I'm losing my voice, so, you know.
Yeah.
Anything else could go wrong. This would be it.
Pretty much.
So, from... we'll just say Pete Chin, because I'm not reading his thing out.
Ginger balls.
Ginger balls.
I love it.
Hilarious. He is so funny. You can totally tell him and Mike are related. It says, "Hey Gary, apparently I've only got to announce you're bringing down the show since you joined the OC podcast to have a chance to get a PUBG code. So being crap at what you do, so keep being crap at what you do, so the listeners all start listening to my brother's show at 9 p.m. instead."
Nobody wants to listen to your brother, Pete. For the record, he is ending his life in just 4 days, which, I mean, you know, the fact that he's chosen to take his life is crazy. But no, Mike Chin, this is who we're talking about. He indeed is getting married, and so that will happen on the 30th, effectively ending his life.
His single life,
yes.
Not his married life.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you're right. Totally correct. Yes.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yes. I am so working in the school, as you can tell.
Yeah.
And also from Colm Sheridan, it's you make the podcast better with 2 laughy faces. Or should that be you make the podcast worse? I can't remember which one the podcast told me to say with another laughy face. I love that. And yep. I'll get to, let me read this other one and then I'll say whose name got pulled from our little spin basket, our hat. And also from Simon Kemster. So I think I'm supposed to reference the Real Defoe here. It's all new to me. Something about PUBG for Xbox. And that would be that. So we put the names in a hat, and we thank you all for entering. We appreciate it. We do know that Gary does suck. I mean,
yeah, I mean, let's talk about this. The realities are we were desperate. We didn't really want Gary on the podcast, but we didn't feel like we had another choice. Just saying.
That's really not how it worked. It was like, hey, he sucks, but here he is.
Fair enough.
He sucks, but anyway.
But anyway, when we tossed all the names in the hat, we pulled out Mr. Sheridan. So Colm Sheridan will be getting the PUBG code.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Congrats.
if you are on the video feed, this is one of the few things I've actually been able to do today that I feel good about. I feel good about this. So congratulations.
What did you get to do?
You'll see it.
Nice.
I'm trying.
Nice.
My I had it on chat. Oh my God! There's kitties. Holy crap! Alrighty.
Yep.
Now, are we going to be able to play any audio for our closing notes? Because it's time for us to say goodbye to people. And I want to know before I start.
No, that is a legitimately good question to ask. Look, the only way to know if we really are going to be able to do it or not, I suppose we should start with some of the closing notes. Let's do that.
Start.
I'm going to do my best, Nicole. Who knows?
All right. So, be a part of the conversation as we broadcast weekly on twitch.tv/overseas podcast, mixer.com/overseas podcast, and youtube.com/overseas connection podcast at 9 p.m. UK, the West Coast. I'm just kidding. 1 p.m. West Coast, 4 p.m. East Coast, 6 p.m. on Easter Island. We need to move islands.
Yeah.
iTunes.
Guam. Guam's a good island.
My boss is from Guam.
There you go. Your boss can listen.
Oh, no, please not. I'll get fired. iTunes and Stitcher, we need reviews, so please feel free to drop, some stars our direction, and we'll read them out here. Any comments you have to make. You can find us because we're some clubbing fools. You can find us on the OC Podcast Club on Xbox One, OC Podcast Community on PlayStation 4, OC Podcast Group on Steam, and OC Podcast Server on Discord, discord.ocpod.com.
You like us.
Now we're going to try for some audio.
See where I'm going with this? Follow us on Twitter @OC_podcast. Check us out on Facebook, fb.ocpod.com, or email us, podcast@ocpod.com. We'd love to hear from you.
The mix wasn't perfect, but it was almost there perfectly. I think I know how this is trying to work now. Who knows? Anyway, Nicole, that is lovely. Every time I hear you say that, I just get a little warm spot.
I'm sorry. You get a warm spot.
I don't want to say the other thing. Trying to keep this PG.
Too late for that.
Yeah, you screwed that up right at the beginning of the show.
Pretty much.
So, yeah. Let's start with some shout outs. Ladies first. So Kim, even though I really wanted to say Greg.
Alrighty. How about a shout out to our shatters? And we've had a few today. And they would be, we have Decaf Smurf, Corzon's been in there, our CGC, of course, Marcanix even stopped by for a little while, Apple Bad Apple, Commander Root, Slow Cool, Electrical Lawnboard, which is, I wonder if it's related to electrical skateboard. But anyway, Land Fusion and Matt Mon Gaming. So thanks for dropping by. We really appreciate it. As for me, I'm at GamerGirl27. That's Twitter, that's Xbox, and GamerGirl, GURL_27 on PlayStation. And, yeah, if you want to find me, that's where I'm at. And I want to shout out you guys, because even with all the technical difficulties and whatnot, it's been fun. And it always is. And, Mother Nature, if you could please get your act together. Either we're going to all fry or you're going to drown us. I'm not sure which. Just pick one. So, yeah. How about you there, Tank Top?
You know what? Anybody who has listened to this entire show, thank you for that.
Right?
Yeah. It has not been the smoothest, most well-oiled machine. I didn't expect it to be. I did half expect it to be a little bit better than it was today. So apologies to all the listeners on that note. At least I was able to get YouTube videos up. That's my one prideful moment of this whole podcast. Outside of that, it was a blast talking with the two of you. Always have fun chatting with you guys, and the interaction back with Sarah and the chat group. Always good stuff. Always fun. And outside of that, I'm happy that we are transitioning into September because Mother Nature is cooperating, and it's actually been cool in the mornings, warm in the afternoons, which is perfect. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. I'm like a bear. Yeah. I need to also real quick shout out to my wife. She has been her patience has been tested today by my son, and he has continued to test her patience all throughout the podcast. I kind of hear it in the background, so I know she needs a well-deserved margarita, also some well-reserved time away. So as soon as we get off this podcast, I'm going to do my best possible husband duties. That said, Nicole.
Thank you, sir. Let's get you to your husband duties quickly.
Oh, dear.
You can find me at nicole@ocpod.com if you want to drop an email, or at OC_Amaryllis on Twitter, Amaryllis on the PlayStation 4, and Amaranth on Xbox. Please feel free to drop me a line to come play a game, and I will do my best. I'm finally getting into a groove, so be able to play a little bit more. We're going to move some things around in the house to make that happen. And again, always love having the Shatters in there. Please, excuse me, feel free to drop a line in there. Say hi. We'll chat with you there. We'll talk about you on live. Join that conversation, just like Greg and Kim has said. It's a lot more fun when you join in, and we appreciate it when you do.
Yeah, we won't just talk about you behind your back.
We can do that as well, but we're not that catty. Please keep the dog away from me. My son keeps trying to give me a dog. Okay, take the dog. And again, always a pleasure with you guys. And yes, for those that did hang in here, especially Sarah, because she's like a real trooper. Thank you for hanging in there with us while we did have all these technical difficulties. And,
Mark, come back, Mark. Come back.
Although I don't know if
Baby
he'll do
Shark's
that
back.
after all the talking behind his back, but who knows?
Have to give him a raise.
But anyway, love everybody. Thank you very much. And y'all, you enjoy your cooler weather. Ours is heating up because Kim and I are like in this tunnel. She's above me in the tunnel. So the gates of hell have opened, and we will be in the high 90s and hundreds. So for those in the UK, upper 30s, lower 40s, and it's the suck balls.
Yep.
So with that, we bid you adieu. Have a good night, everybody. Yes, and Greg, enjoy your husbandly duties.
I'm trying. Now, if only the audio will cooperate.
There we go.
Damn.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.